Hmm. Hello and welcome, everybody. It is, we'll have to say, only midnight-ish tonight as we come to you live. I'm not sure who the we is, by the way. I don't mean to use the imperial we, but it's just me. And so I was experimenting a little with trying to get a live room going, but that didn't seem to want to work for me tonight. So I went on ahead and opened up my usual live stream for our nighttime meeting. And I hope all of you are finding yourself at the end of a beautiful day and that you have had a pleasant time as you've gone about your existence. Of course, some of you may be just beginning days from far away, and I hope that you have come out of a night of good dreaming and one that has given you rest and hopefully some pleasant excitement and some insights into what you should be doing or just revealing the inner wishes of your soul and how those may be wanting to be paid a little bit more attention to than perhaps we do in our everyday lives. So, what we try to do at the Midnight Rite is to just take a moment to honor one of the four quarters of the 24-hour day, the one that marks midnight, and which falls approximately in the center of the hours of darkness, depending on the time of year, the length of night, and so on. So it's a good time to just sort of relax and center ourselves, to breathe in, perhaps to use what we call the breath of Isis, which is to breathe in on inner sanctum and breathe out on infinite space. So it can be inner sanctum of infinite space. And you give yourself that little meaningful pause before you breathe in, at the top of your breath, and then after you breathe out. So that's 3 pauses and 2 breathing cycles. So little pause and breathe in on inner sanctum. Hold infinite space. And when we do this, we call it the breath of Isis, and this was developed by our foundress here at the Temple of Isis, Lady Lorianne Vanier. And what you do is basically when you're pulling in the energy, you're transforming it, you're mingling your own energy with the energy of the universe. And then when you breathe out, you're sending it out into the universe. And mingling with the greater universe. So you mingle within and then you send it to mingle without. And it's a way of connecting with the entire created universe as we understand it. And I was so interested to see the other day that they are talking about black holes and how those may be entrances to universes, that we may be in a black hole, and the energy coming in is joining with us, but can't tell where it is going as it goes into it. So the universe is certainly a fascinating place, and I more and more do believe that we are actually one universe within a much vaster and budding and growing multiverse. So there's much out there. There's no need to be bored or scared or worried on the bigger side of things. When we're here, yes, we worry, we're concerned, we're constrained, but we are part of something that is truly limitless and infinite and can take us to some amazing places. And some of us, with practice, can actually get easier with going to these other places by exploring them through our dreams. And whereas most of our dreams are not that far off from where we are and from the usual way of things, some of them are often extraordinary. And we want to have both the more comforting usual dreams and the fascinating and extraordinary ones. And so one of the reasons that I do this little midnight session is to help those that, like me, tend to stay up late, um, help us get into a good state for dreaming. And often I found that simply looking at our dreams and talking about dreams before we're going to bed is very helpful in deepening our dreams. Dreams like to be paid attention to. They like that we are regarding them as important, and the energies and people that we know and connections that we have that can manifest in our dreams respond to our attention. So have the intention to pay attention to your dreams. And one of the best ways that we've discussed before is, of course, to keep a dream journal. This is a unique way of monitoring your own inner life, and it will endlessly repay your attention. Some people think, oh, it's just a waste of time. I didn't dream anything important. It doesn't matter. But even the tiniest bits of new information and new insight that you gain in your sleep time hours can really have a huge impact on your life. And I want you to all benefit from this by simply keeping a dream journal or a dream diary. Now, one time when I'm teaching the Mysteries of Isis, I ask that you keep a dream journal and a ritual journal. And I did have one person that just could not do this. And apparently she had been badly traumatized by her mother reading her diary when she was a young girl. And so no matter what she did, that was not the way that she could record her dreams. But even in cases like that, there's ways of you capturing something of it, maybe in a way that someone who read it wouldn't be able to follow so well. You could make a habit of just recording like one image of your dream. Forget about the narrative. Just focus on one thing that you've brought out of the dream, that little nugget or kernel that you think is the most meaningful bit of the dream. And very few people would be able to understand that the green stained glass lampshade is important, but if you even record that little bit, it will act as a trigger to the rest of your dream recall on that. So if you don't want to record every single bit, though I advise that you record as much as you can, If for some reason that's not comfortable for you, you could just, choose to focus on that one bit. And I think if you do that over time, you'll find that it's easier and easier to write more about what you're dreaming. You can also use drawings, sketches, and they don't have to be good. They don't have to be even recognizable to anybody but you. But still, the process of doing them, of bringing something out of the dream world into the physical world, can be really powerful and very liberating and help you expand your insight in many, many different ways. So I highly recommend that. And one of the things that I, quote unquote, brought through, of course, is my sacred scarab oracle came to me in a dream. And it was a wonderful dream of ancient Egypt. And when I woke up, I thought that was such a great dream. And so I made, I actually used Play-Doh for the first set. I made a set of these, divination scarabs, and the scarab in ancient Egypt is actually this type of beetle, which they call a dung beetle, and it rolls actually balls of mud or dung and lays its eggs in them, and so that feeds the little beetles when they come out, and they roll it across the ground, and it's really amazing. They get up high. I mean, the ball will be like this, and the little beetle on top will be just, much, much smaller, and yet it's rolling this huge, huge sphere. And the ancient Egyptians saw it as a symbol of the sun rolling across the sky. So it took on many, many associations, and they saw the beetle as being a creator, as a potter, working with clay, and so many things grew out of observing this fantastic little beetle. So because I knew that the scarab beetles were supposed to have a dung ball, I made out of Play-Doh a ball-like container so I could put the little scarabs, which I also made out of Play-Doh, with some crushed quartz crystal added, so I could keep them in that little dung ball. And for a long time it was just, my own kind of toy. But then I wrote an article about doing this, and then it became part of my Mysteries of Isis book, and eventually it became an oracle kit on its own. So that all came out of one night's dreaming. And so you don't know what projects and insights and creative extravaganzas you may find within your own hours of sleep. And so I'm hoping that paying a little attention to all of this will actually help. And so when you go to sleep tonight, try to be attentive to the idea that you may dream. Lay yourself in bed in a comfortable position. I often find when I'm really trying to induce dreams, I lie flat on my back with like a little towel under my neck and just, sort of lay myself out in a comfortable way. And somehow that position speaks to my subconscious and says, okay, she's getting ready for a dream. We better provide her with one. And I usually have intense dreams. And I also usually have a remarkable session of, the hypnagogic imagery that comes before dreaming, and that you kind of see in a half real physical space and half mystical space when you have your eyes shut and things start to form in front of your eyes, and you can either just see them as lights and colors and so on, or you can start focusing on forms that they may suggest, and then you're into a semi-dream state, which can bring through some fascinating materials. So I hope that you get to experience this. All right. Well, it seems to be a quiet evening on the internet, which probably means I nonetheless ended up setting up something wrong, which I should by this time have down very well, but I don't seem to. So I'm not seeing that I've got a lot of, or any, viewers at this moment. So I will go ahead and do a little bit of our dream rite and then say goodnight so you can get to bed and get some good sleep. And one of the things that we often do at these little midnight rites is the midnight song. It is the complement to our noon rite song, which some of you may also watch on Facebook Live. So anyway, here we go. It is midnight, time to go to bed and dream. Dreams are never what they seem. You must dwell on what they mean. It is midnight when you wake up at sunrise. Take the time to analyze, for your dreams are very wise. It is midnight. It is midnight. It is midnight. May all your dreams be blessed. May you have a safe and satisfying and healing sleep. And may you awake with many interesting dreams to recall. And may your exploration into the dream worlds continue in a blessed way, under the protection of all that you hold sacred and with the love of those that you love too. Good night for tonight and blessings.